Today, we are talking about all things momentum. What fuels momentum? This comes from a talk that Craig Groeschel did. So obviously, I am not that smart. I can't create all of this great content. I have to borrow it because of the fact that there are people that are out there that are way smarter than me. So I lend on them and I lean on them for their expertise. And so today we're talking about, what it takes to fuel momentum. But the first thing we want to figure out is we want to know how to build it, how to keep it, and how to get it back when we lose it. Because a leader, once he has momentum, it propels forward greater than if you were to do all the things with leadership strategy and resources combined. Momentum pushes things forward. I've heard it said quite a few times that you are always better, you look smarter, you look more educated, you look like a better leader when you have momentum behind you. And when you don't have momentum, you're not as bad of a leader and you're not as slow as you actually think. So momentum has a lot to do with your leadership and how it's perceived. So having momentum is very, very important. Creating momentum is kind of like shooting a rocket up. It takes a large amount of energy to get it going. And then once it's going, once it's past that threshold of the gravity that holds it to the earth, it can continue to go on. Another great way to explain momentum is using the snowball analogy. You start with a pebble at the top of the hill and you start rolling it down and it gets bigger and gets bigger and it gets bigger and it gets bigger. And the momentum ends up taking over so that even when it gets down to a little hill, it can actually go up and over the hill. So with momentum, sometimes things that come up that would normally be what you would say a mountain of a problem without momentum, with momentum just seems like a small speed bump. So just know that momentum is very, very important to your business. It's very important to your organization and your team. So how do we get to the part of momentum? Well, first we kind of need to talk about what momentum is. It is getting everyone in alignment, getting everyone on the same page, and moving forward at a pace where 1 + 1 = 10, not 2. So how do you get that momentum going? Well, first off, it starts with you have to have a vision. You have to have a large vision. It is started at vision. So we talk about this quite a bit. You personally knowing your why. That is your vision for you. But for your team, you need to create a vision, create a why of what you're doing. So you inspire action with an unwavering vision to fulfill the mission that you are setting out to accomplish. What could that be? That could be for you helping so many people on your team reach promotions. It could be helping a certain amount of people hit a specific rank or a specific income level. It's something that is not tied to just you. It's something that you actually have to get more people involved in order to create it to happen. And one of the biggest mistakes that leaders make is they undervalue the power of vision. When you're telling people where you're going and what you're doing, is it big enough? Are you doing it enough? You know that you're doing it enough when other people can repeat it back to you. A lack of momentum is normally tied to a lack of vision. If you want momentum, your entire team needs to know what the vision is for the team, where the team is going. It must be clear, consistent, and compelling. That way, the mission, the vision gets everybody behind it. So take some time today and think about that. What is it that you and your team are working towards? And have you created enough of a vision that causes everyone to get on board? Because the vision encompasses everyone. It doesn't leave anyone out. Number 2, it is activated by faith. You need to lead with big thinking, risk taking faith. as the leader. Why? Because you see things bigger, better, and before others do. That's why you have the grander vision. That's why you have the things that other people are looking for. That's why they're looking to you for leadership. So you have to have a ginormous faith and belief that it is going to happen, because you need to be able to transfer that to your team. You know, there are tons of reasons out there why things can't happen. And the pessimist and the non-leader is always the one looking for the reason why it won't happen. You, as the leader, need to activate your faith and believe, because you can make excuses or you can create momentum. You can't do both. I'll say that again. You can create excuses or momentum. You can't do both. So today, take a look and see what you've been doing to take big, bold, BHAG type goal faith out there. Your big, hairy, audacious goal. You have to have big, hairy, audacious faith to back that up. And the thing you need to do, it's not enough to believe that you are going to benefit from the mission. It's not enough for you to believe enough that the mission is going to take place, that you contribute to it. What you have to do is you have to believe enough to give your life to that mission. Are you going to back it with everything that you do? Are you going to believe it so much that you are so committed to it that there is no other option but to achieve it? That is what creates and starts momentum for you and your team. The next one is momentum is supported by habits and systems. Very simply put, you have to have a duplicatable system, a duplicatable habit and discipline in place, so that not only is it easy for you to accomplish, it's easy for the people in your team to follow and accomplish. So, for instance, look at your business. What are the things that you are consistently doing every single day that you can pass on to your team that they can do that will create success for them? You know, our business has multiple different steps that we've laid out that are very, very easy to follow. Are you following them? Are you teaching them? Is your team teaching them? See, when you have an easy, duplicatable system, it allows you to accomplish your what. You know, we have the why, we have the vision, but then there's the what and the how behind it. And that needs to be backfilled with your system. Luckily, we've created a system within the company that you're able to follow and use to create success. So if you want specific results, you need to have specific habits and systems around what it is to create those results. And when you have those and you have multiple people doing them and teaching them and duplicating them within their team, that is when you create momentum. And then lastly, momentum is sustained by grit and resiliency. You know, you have to be compelled by that vision, and it's so intense that you have so much grit that you won't quit. Again, this goes back to the emotional side of it. We know that there's going to be problems. We know that things are going to arise that are going to cause us to want to quit. But the key ingredient in most successful leaders is not their knowledge, it's not their skill, or it's their desire, but it's their resiliency. It's their ability to bounce back and thrive in the face of adversity. When was the last time that you looked at a problem head on, or you looked at adversity head on and said, I can't wait to overcome this? I can't raise my hand because that's one of those things that everyone's like, I can't stand problems, can't stand adversity. The hard stuff is hard for a reason, but it makes you better. It makes you stronger. It gives you a better skill set to attack that exact same thing next time. It also allows you the ability to teach your team when they inevitably come into that problem or adversity. See, Stephanie and I have been doing this so long that we've pretty much seen everything. So when somebody comes to us with a problem, we have the experience and the knowledge to be able to help add to their grit and to their perseverance. But if we gave up, if we quit years ago, that never would have happened. So another point is making sure that you are in long enough to endure long enough, to develop long enough to be able to help many people with many different areas and problems. You need a mindset that knows leadership is incredibly difficult, but you will have so much success because of your ability to get back up. Remember, the most successful trait of leaders is their resiliency, their grit, and their ability to get back up. So if you want to build momentum, develop the skill of showing back up. Also, the key to that is staying passionate about what you're doing. People ask Stephanie and I all the time, how are you still doing what you're doing? You've been doing this now for 14, almost 15 years. How and why are you still doing it? You don't need to do it anymore. You don't need to work anymore. You've reached the top. You've reached the pinnacle. You've continued to be successful year after year after year. And it comes down to you need to dedicate your life and your leadership into ensuring that your vision and what you're doing is bigger than just yourself. So how do you stay passionate? You make it about your team. You make it about other people's teams. You make it about the success of other people. See, our passion comes to seeing you hit your next level, seeing you become financially free and debt free, and seeing you change your life and the lives of people around you. That is what gets us up in the morning. There needs to be a point that changes for you, and that becomes what you're passionate about. So again, to review, the things that create momentum is having a big vision. You need to have a vision in order to get people to follow what you're doing. You need to pass that vision on to them and get them excited about it. It's activated by your faith. You are believing and seeing because you are the leader. You are believing and seeing the things that other people on your team can't see. So you need to guide them through it. You need to have your system and habits in place because those are the things that allow you to accomplish the vision and keep the faith. If you have your system in place and it's duplicatable and it's easy and it's transferable, you will compound and create momentum when you get enough people following and doing what you're doing. And finally, it's sustained by grit and resiliency. Never back down, never give up, never quit, get back up, go out and believe that you can change one more life. Guys, go out and make it an amazing day. And I hope your day is as awesome as you are.